The White House just announced that there's a link between acetaminophen used during pregnancy and autism. And Trump himself said verbatim,
"Don't take Tylenol."
but that's not what the scientists are saying. You know, the people who actually do the research. So we gotta talk about it. Now, over the last 20 or so years, there have been a lot of people diagnosed with autism, which is a brain condition that affects how people talk and play and experience the world. Now, the White House pointed to a few specific studies. One from a very fancy college called Harvard. Now, there's this guy named Andrea, and he's the dean of Harvard's public health, and he came out with a study, and it said that acetaminophen, which is also known as Tylenol, by the way, and it is the most common over-the-counter medication for pain and fevers for pregnant people. And he claims that moms who take this pain reliever are more likely to have kids with autism versus those who don't. But here's a little problemo, Miss Girl. First off, they just looked at a bunch of previous studies. They didn't even go and complete their own clinical study. The study that they came out with doesn't even say that pregnant people shouldn't take Tylenol. All it says is that you should limit taking it. It also says that while this association warns caution, untreated maternal fever and pain, which are going to be two of the reasons why women are going to go and take this Tylenol, pose huge risks such as neural tube defect and preterm birth. So in fact, you actually need a balanced approach. Even in the study that the White House is quoting, they are not saying to not take Tylenol. In fact, not taking it could cause more harm. And it also says that further research still needs to be conducted to confirm the association. They are even admitting that there is not enough research out there to say that Tylenol causes autism. But that's not what the people have been spewing. This guy, Andrea, was actually called in as an expert witness to a lawsuit some parents took up against the company Tenvu, who owns Tylenol. And their lawsuit was claiming that Tylenol is what gave their kids autism. But even after paying Andrea $150,000, the judge threw out the case. Because, guess what? There wasn't enough evidence to support his claims. Now, other scientists, like this guy named David, who is the head of autism research at a huge children's hospital, said that they, meaning Andrea and team, didn't even do a full review of the evidence. And that one of the papers that Andrea is referring to didn't even provide a measure of what autism even is. And babe, that's just bad research. They were just trying to prove their point instead of understanding autism and how we can help people with autism. Because they're not broken, they're just a little bit different. Oh, and it gets even crazier. So RFK and the White House were like, but guess what? There's this special supplement that will help with autism. Do you want to know who sells that supplement? Dr. Oz. He works for Trump as the administrator of the Center of Medicare and Medicaid. And basically, Dr. Oz has this supplement that RFK is claiming cures autism based off faulty research. So it just kind of seems like maybe there's a scam. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. But that's a little crazy. So I guess now we're living in a day and age where people can put out faulty research and then the president can double down on it and then spew a message even more extreme that actually goes against the research that he's citing. So personally, I think we should listen to the real scientists. That's the tea with autism and Tylenol. Cheers!